Randy.
Hi.
Hey,
How are
hey. Good. How are you doing? Happy Thursday.
Happy Thursday. Happy almost
Oh,
Friday.
yeah, I know. Almost the weekend. Let's party.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh my God, partying of like just like no work, like just train and no work. It's so nice.
right. I know. It's like you're still working, but not at the same time, right? It's different. It's different.
Yeah,
And
different.
especially when you enjoy both of the things you're doing. It's like just
Yeah,
it's less to worry about, right?
yeah. Where are you at? It looks serious. Is that a real microphone there?
Yeah, it's the real deal.
Wow.
Yeah, I've
Yep.
upgraded since we last caught up.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. So, I mean, how have things been? It has been a while. How has the start of the year been for you? 2023, new year, new you? Not quite, or how's it been?
Yeah, honestly, I would say New Year, New Me. I'd say like my life has never been so smooth. Like my relationships, everything has just, it's like, it's the glow up for 33 is the year, I think.
All
Yeah,
right.
it's been a really smooth year.
Love to hear it, and onward and
Mm.
upward, right, as we get ready for what's to come. But I gotta ask you, Randy, like, what were the reactions like and everything to the story we did together? I gotta know from your end, like, was it overwhelming, or just how did things turn out from what you were getting?
It wasn't overwhelming, but it was actually really cool to when I actually traveled and talking to people who actually read the story, and it was like, oh my God, like you took the time to like really kind of like find out about me. And then I did a podcast when I was in Texas. It was Realize, and there was a woman there, Adair, and she had brought my story up, and I was just like, someone like her is reading about me, and I was like,
Right.
oh, that's really awesome. And like I think it's really cool for people to see the struggles that I've gone through, like since like I was 13 or even younger, but
Mm.
it started then too. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. And I saw what you did, like a little mini documentary or something with somebody. I didn't get to see it, but I saw you posted about it. And like in the beginning, it showed, the cover. And I was like, oh, that's cool. We're getting that on there.
Well, but I don't think so. I think there was Mace
Yes, I
Mason.
think that was it.
I think that was it too. Yeah, he just came into CSA when I was there and just did some clips, but he did take your story and he did use it for the front because it is inspiring. So I'm really glad that you were able to help us out too with that.
Yeah, I can't thank you enough for letting me. I mean, that was one of my favorite projects I got to do last year. And, it's kind of funny because, like, hopefully we don't get to write another one like that because it was based off something like that.
Yeah.
But at the same time, yeah, it was a good thing to get out there and share, and I got some good responses too, and people liked it, and have been paying attention to you since, and so here we are now. And you mentioned CSA. Are you still training there?
Not for this camp and my last camp. I actually met Bob Perez
Okay.
when I went to CSA the last time, and they did a coaches clinic, and I was just sitting off to the side, and then me and Bob just kind of started chit chatting, and then I was like, "Hey, do you mind watching my last fight and just kind of like helping me out and giving me some tips?" And then all of a sudden, like Bob took me into the cage, and it was like I got a one-on-one session with him, and he
Nice.
just spoke my language, like, and I want to say that he was really able to dumb shit down for me, because I have I think I did my ancestry, and they're like, you're 78% more Neanderthal than the average person.
Oh
Okay.
no.
So with that, you have the worst sense of direction. So it's like if you watch me do jujitsu, like I'm good at it, but like I do everything ass backwards, and my coaches are like, I don't know how you got there, and I don't know how that worked, but it worked. And I'm like, eh, I don't know. So Bob he was really good at communicating with me, and like I would go to my head coach Manny, and I'd be like, oh my God, I understand this is what you're trying to get me to do. He's like,
Uh,
I've been telling you that same thing for years, Randy. And I was
uh,
sorry, coach. But yeah, so we really clicked, and then I went there twice so far, and I just feel like a whole new fighter. Like I'm so excited.
yeah, that is very cool. So then, have you gotten to that point with him where he's cornering you for this fight, or is it still like work in progress? What stage are we at, I guess, with?
Oh,
Yeah.
Bob's there, baby.
Okay,
He's
cool.
there. Yeah, yeah. I'm super
Awesome.
excited to have.
And I love how you kind of exposed yourself as a Neanderthal there, Randy. I didn't expect that today. No judgment. Yeah, I mean, you're a fighter, so a little bit, I guess. But,
Yeah, well, if you see me and like I'm just like I'm super goofy and like I don't know, like I'm smart, but like I know what I know, and then I know what I
right.
know.
Yes.
You know,
Exactly.
so I just exposed myself again.
Yep,
Damn
it
it.
is what it is. But I mean, you were supposed to come back earlier than this fight, right? You had the December one lined up, and then unfortunately,
Yeah.
opponent pulled out. And was that kind of a big bummer? I mean, obviously, you don't like to wait around, I'm sure, for these kind of opportunities. But I don't know. December is always a weird time, I imagine, for fighters to fight because of the holidays and all that. But yours was still before like Christmas
Yeah.
time. But I guess how did that change things for the end of the year for you?
I was super bummed. To be honest, it was really funny how it went down. So I'm dating my head coach.
Mhm.
Um, and he was sitting at the table and I seen my daughter walk out of the bedroom and he threw his phone down. So I'm thinking this guy's cheating on me. And I'm like, what are you doing? I'm like, I just seen that. What's going on? And then he was like, he's like, Randy, I can't tell you. And I was like, what do you mean you can't tell me?
Yeah.
And he's like, I swear to God, he's like, I'm talking to Bob and I'm talking to Brian. And he showed me his phone and I was like, all right. But like, that was really sketchy.
Yeah.
So he
A little
knew
sus.
that my head had pulled out and he didn't tell me. And he couldn't tell me because they didn't want to mess with my head at all. But then a few days later, I was like, man, I'm like, I've been feeling on edge. I need you to tell me what's going on. I can feel it. And so they told me and they were trying to find me a replacement opponent, which I thought they had. And I was super excited. But at the same time, like, I don't know, like I'm telling you, January came and it was like, I'm just going to clear my slate. And I was super confident in fighting whoever. So I know that they potentially were matching me up with another striker. And I was like, I don't have the cardio for another striker. I have a cardio for the wrestler, you know? And it was just like my own little mind game. So it's really important to get that in check because really when in the fight game, you need to be able to fight anybody and at any time.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
100%. I think we might have talked about it a little bit last time too, but like the mental versus physical in MMA, it's you got of course you need the vehicle, but you got to be able to drive it, right?
Yeah.
So got to have the head on straight a little bit.
Yeah.
So
I got my license at Walmart.
whatever works, girl. Do they even do that? Is that a real thing? Can you get your license at Walmart? I'm unaware of this.
No, you cannot.
Okay, all right. I mean, I'm sure there's some places you never know.
Yeah. You are Canadian. I don't know.
Right. Drive-through license. That makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
But obviously, before that, Randy, got to congratulate you on the win, though. You did get against Maraya Miller, in Hawaii. I mean, just what was that entire experience like? Actually getting to go there. I know you're very excited for it, and a great performance by you, of course. But then just fighting there, all the things that went into the last win.
Yeah, I always like when I talk about that fight, I'm like, this is my story. Like I almost died with Maraya. Like she had me down, she was ground and pounding me, and it's really cool to like watch the photos because I look like I'm like zenning out and just being like, hello, don't freak out. But I do know, like I remember the nerves I had going in there. I remember feeling like I had to prove so much, and I really feel that I was able to show people that I went through what I went through with Maraya in that round one, and I was able to show them that I just had to let out my scream, get out my anxiety, and just do what I trained for. I trained for it over and over. I knew she was going to throw me like that. I repetitively trained for that exact thing, and then she got me, and it was like, no, you trained for this, you know what to do. So I think I showed people that I'm done showing people I'm tough, though. I don't want to show people that anymore. I want to show them that I'm actually good too. It's all that's
exactly. Yeah, gotten the toughness out of the way. On to one-sided dominant performances, right?
Yeah, I love that.
I'm glad you mentioned that though, because I was curious, like for you, if you're a reflective person, at least in terms of your MMA career so far, obviously still building up, but when you look at specifically like the Sumiko loss, I'm curious, like, do you feel better about it in a way? Because, when you watch her and continue to see her success, like she's in the top 10 now, still undefeated. I don't know. Does that make you feel better at all? Or I don't know. How do you, if you look at that kind of thing?
Yeah. To be honest, like looking back at it and like seeing I came off a 2 year layoff and reconstructive surgery, and I see, like if I'm looking back on myself, like I see that I'm holding myself back because I'm afraid of getting injured a lot. And I think now I'm at the point where I don't feel like I don't feel afraid because I'm not hurt anywhere.
Mm.
So like I'm able to go into this fight camp without worrying about injuries, and um, I feel really good. To be honest, like I think I got to share the warm up room with Sumiko the last fight with Maraya. And, beforehand I was massaging her hands, and it was just like, like everything happens for a reason. And I'm really grateful to be a part of her story because I have a lot of respect for her. And I just think that, it all goes with my fight name. It's like I'm the Rose City Phoenix, and I rise up, and I don't care if I went down, I'm still back and I'm still here, and I'm ready to perform.
How many fighter friends are asking you for massages after training?
To be honest, like, it's my like butter. I
Is it
say, I'm like, if I feel like someone's mad at me because I went too rough or something like
like,
that, I'm
hey,
like,
I get
you
you.
got any injuries? I can help you out. Yeah, I love being able to help them because I know what's wrong with me all the time, so I know
Mm.
what works best for them. So yeah, I call it my butter.
Yeah, a little cure all.
Yeah,
Someone's mad at you, you're like, hey, I can relieve this, I promise.
yeah.
That's amazing.
Mhm.
Is business good, by the way? I didn't ask you about how things have been with the massage stuff. Still going strong?
Oh yeah, I'm the best. I'm the best.
There we go.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah, I started from home, and like I was really scared to do it, and like naturally like when change comes you're scared, but like I am so glad I did it, and I wish I would have done it a long time ago. Like it's just I have so much more time
Mm,
because you don't think of like driving to work, driving back home, the time that you take to make your lunch and all
yeah.
this stuff, and like I'm just here and it's perfect.
Yeah, there you go. I know it's kind of funny. You need that drastic change or random change, maybe, and you're like, oh, wow, this is way better. Oh, well.
Yeah.
It just takes one
Why was I
thing.
afraid? Hmm.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
that's awesome. But obviously, the next thing on deck here, Randy, is Ashley Cummins, which this matchup was very, very interesting to me when they announced it as your opponent because, obviously, Ashley, she's coming off a layoff now, but been at atomweight for like the last so many years. I think I want to say 2018, 17. So she's, a little bit smaller, obviously. I don't you probably have the advantage here in size this time. Just what do you make of the matchup with her? Like, have you been familiar with Ashley? Of course, she was a title challenger in Invicta at atomweight, like I was saying there. But it's very, very compelling one to me with all these little factors going into it here. And her debut in Bellator now, too.
Hmm. I have a lot of respect for Ashley. I've read about her. I've read some of her stories and like injuries that she's had. Um, I am very grateful to be able to share the cage with her. Um, I mean, I'm not following her on Instagram right now because we're not doing that.
Yeah.
But um, yeah, she. I know she's smaller. She's fought at 105, and to be honest, I probably could fight at 105 if I didn't have such a big butt. I think that's my like. I'm small for
Mm,
125. Like I'm trying to gain weight all the time, but this like a catch weight of 120. I'm like, this is freaking awesome for me.
mm,
Like I was eating a sandwich today. Like I can still eat stuff like
mm.
that. So I really don't look at size advantage and thinking like, oh my gosh, I'm going to be so much bigger because I've thought like that before. And then we showed up and we were the same size and I was like, oh, no.
Whoops.
Yep. So I don't even think about advantages or disadvantages like that. Like even on my questions, they're like, what do you think is her biggest weakness? And like, I hope I am. Like, I hope
Hmm.
it's just me. I haven't seen a huge hole in her game. I think she's awesome. And I'm excited to challenge myself with her.
So are you including the layoff in that? I mean, obviously you've been experienced in coming back from that, and the ring rust is a mythical thing, right? It affects everybody different. Doesn't affect some people at all. Is that something again you're just disregarding, or what do you think in that regard? With your own experience too.
Um, I only think so just because of how many fights she does have, and
Mm,
she's fought for Invicta like that's pretty big too, So for me, it was like I did 2 hometown fights, broke my arm, had a 2-year layoff, and then boom, I'm in Bellator. And it was like I've never even been in an arena this big in my entire life. So when I walked out, it was like, oh my God. So I'm not really taking that. I also understand that for her job that she probably deals with some crazy stuff all the time. So she's kind of, I feel like she'd be more mellow in that situation, if that makes sense.
Yeah, totally.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, with the officer duties and whatnot, one of the big things that's a crazy job to juggle with MMA, like Stipe as well with the firemen, all the first responder type peoples, of course. So, yeah, definitely admirable. And I think it's really kind of crazy though too for like you to get this opportunity because like beating her, that's a very big, name and win to get on your resume at this stage, Randy. Like, I'm curious, I don't know, do you try not to inflate people like this to make the moment bigger because of pressure, or is it motivation in that regard? Like, have you thought about that kind of thing at all and what the win can do for you and like maybe speed up your progression and trajectory, in the Bellator ranks?
Mm-hmm. Well, I have paid attention to the people rooting for her, and I have realized how big she is. And I do still see myself beating her. I have worked my ass off, like, and I'm not taking her like as any joke. Like I'm ready to like fight, like I'm fighting for a title, So I think beating her will be able to show people that I don't know. I think in my last fight I got lucky, to be honest.
Okay.
If I'm gonna say that, so I think I'm gonna be able to show people that I actually am very talented and I deserve to be exactly where I'm at. So I think she's the perfect fight for me right now at this point in my career. I got to prove some stuff.
Yeah. Out to set the record straight a little bit. So,
yeah.
Gonna be good. Very excited. Have you been to into that Temecula area before? Will this be a first time trip to there for you?
It's a first time trip.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought I was fighting in San Diego too.
Oh yeah. It's close. It's close.
I'm like, what's Temecula? They're like, that's where you're fighting. I was like, oh.
Oh, okay, cool. Casino, sweet.
Yeah. Beautiful.
Yeah. All circles back. Are you somebody who, is a goal setter, Randy? Like in terms of the MMA career, are you kind of going, obviously what's right ahead of you first, but do you have like these grand ideas of course, everybody wants to be a champion, I would assume, or are you just trying to, have fun? What is kind of the ultimate idea here as things continue onward and, rack up the wins? What's the big goal for you?
I don't want to be shafted because I don't have those big goals for myself, because I really don't. Like, I really love what I'm doing because when I started training MMA in 2014, like I was nobody. My life, I had hit rock bottom in my life. And, at this point, like I'm somebody and I have influence on people and I can share my story to have people, come up and rise up and be better with their lives. And, if I end up getting that shot, like amazing. I can't even imagine the opportunities that are going to come with that too. I just want to continue doing what I love and not put pressure on myself, because pressure is one of my downfalls. Like I've always put a lot of pressure on myself and I haven't been good when I've done that, So I'm just taking it off, and I love what I do.
All right, there we go. Yeah, I love to hear it and love watching you do it, girl. So very much looking forward to it. But before I let you go, Randy, it's always great chatting. You could talk forever. I want to do a fun, quick set of would you rathers with you. Is that all right?
Oh, shit. Yeah.
All right. Let's start it off here with would you rather be forced to watch only horror or romance movies for the rest of your life? What would you pick between
horror?
Those two? Easy, and I didn't even think about it.
100%.
What's your favorite horror movie? I gotta ask now.
My kids have been watching Scream, like every single one of the
Oh, really? Binging the series?
Yeah. And I guess I like it because I also like that they put a funny spin on it too when they made scary movies. Right. So let's go with that.
All right. Solid. And then would you rather be constantly cold or constantly hot?
Hot.
All right, another easy. Didn't even think about that one either. I think I'd agree. I don't
No,
know. That's a tough one.
I have a heated blanket on right now. I am make me hot all the time.
All right. And last one for you, Randy. Would you rather sneeze every time you talk or fart every time you talk? I know it's a perfect mom one for you.
I maybe fart because we could like catch it and sell it. I guess people sell everything nowadays. Eh?
That is true.
That one's gonna be a hit.
Yeah, yeah. The monetary gain is better there.
Yeah, yeah.
All
Isn't that funny? So I mean, I said sneeze, but like whatever. Let's make some money. We'll
Yeah.
fart.
All right. Cool.
Yeah.
People are crazy. They all got their things.
All right.
The OnlyFans going well, right?
It's going well. I mean, you get some weird stuff
I'm
on
sure.
there. Oh my God. Like some of the things I'm like screenshotting and sending to my best friend. I'm like, you down? Let's do it. She's like, you're so
Get out of here.
yeah. But like I'm happy I went there. Like I think that a lot of more people have seen me, but like I love having the control. Like people are like, hey, send me some nudes. And I'm like, hey, you can never send me any amount of money in the world that you're gonna see me naked. And
Right.
I'm like, yeah, I feel powerful saying that.
Yeah.
So it's given me some but those are some other stories we could talk about.
Yeah, we'll save them for next time.
Yeah.
All right, Randy. Yeah. Well, I'll let you get on with it. Always a pleasure. Wishing you the best of luck. Love watching you fight and just your story. Amazing stuff and continuing to do big things. So I'll be watching and hopefully I can get out to one of them next. I'm going to miss this one, but maybe the next one after. So I'll see you when I see you.
Yeah, it was nice talking to you.